Okay, and last night, you after the WhatsApp training, you also got another assignment, which was to create your profile on one of the freelancing platforms. Did everybody get the assignments done too? Or do anybody have a question from the assignment?
I was receiving some of your guys' questions. Some people were having some issue creating it. So if you have any kind of issues, if you have done that, if you want to ask something, drop it in the chat. If you have already done that, then just type done in the chat below. So we can know how many of you have done that, and then we can resume the class. All right. So Kelvin did it. Great work, Kelvin. Really nice. Perfect, man. Perfect. Really good. Really good. All right. Samuel did it as well. Nice. Very good.
Great.
Oh, Frank did it as well. Okay. All right. We're getting a lot of answers. A lot of people did it. Pretty good.
Okay, so great.
Nice. Nice. So did
So
any of you also took a look at the platform? Did you try to explore the platform? Did you understand a little bit about how that platform was working? Did you try to search your niche over here, your gig over there, your service that you want to offer? Did you try that? Do you have a good understanding about that? Or do you have any questions about that? You can drop in your questions. You can let us know if everything was clear. Just give us your feedback. Let us know. Okay, so we got Frank. I did it and I found your name. Very outstanding profile. Thank you so much.
mhm.
Okay, but you had difficulty filling your profile. Okay, perfect. All right. We will definitely look into that. Very nice. So, except for Frank, if anyone has anything to share, please feel free as well. Let us know how was your experience. Was it easy to create it? Were you having some trouble creating it? Did you look into it? Perfect. So Bernice also took a look at it. Perfect. So that means that it was creating a profile. I think not a lot of there are not really a lot of people who had some trouble doing that. So that's good to know. Pretty good.
That's good to know.
Really nice.
That's
So
good to
did any of you also try to offer some kind of service? Okay, very good question, Kelvin.
That's
Very good
awesome.
question. I'll
Okay.
get to that. I'll definitely get to that. So, did any of you try to look for the service or try to create your own service, or as we call it, a gig on Fiverr? Did you look into it? Did you try to create a gig as well? Haven't created a gig though. It's okay. No worries. Perfect. We will find you the service that you're looking for. Samuel did created 2 gigs. Perfect. Very, very good, Samuel.
Amazing.
Really nice. Really nice. And Samuel, what was your gig about? What was your service about? What were you offering? Can you let us know that as well?
Payment.
Okay, no worries, Bernice, no worries at all. If you don't understand it, this session is basically going to be, we will be understand, we making you understand what a gig is, how can you create a
Remote
gig, how
IT
can you
support and web
publish.
development. That's great. Somebody said remote IT support and web
Promoted
development. And
support and web development, right?
I think a lot of people are looking for that, especially the
That,
IT support. Now that
yes.
everybody is online, most things are done online. A lot of people are looking for IT support. So kudos to you, and keep at
We
it. Keep at
we have a
it.
response from Frank as well. I explored but couldn't get a description, so decided to look at other people gig. Very good. Once again, yours was incredible. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Frank. And really nice that you tried to explore the platform. That is amazing. Don't worry if you don't understand how to basically create your own gig or offer your own service. The session is all about it. So you'll understand everything. So we have another one. We have Kelvin. Kelvin have a gig on providing transcription services. Very nice.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's amazing.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then we have Bernice over here. My question, is it possible to offer 2 services at the same time? It definitely is. A lot of people are offering multiple services at one time, but in the beginning, be careful, Bernice. Don't try to offer a service you're not very proficient at. Just offer that service that you're more comfortable with right now at the beginning. Okay. But yes, you can definitely add as many services as you want to, unless you know how to do them, you're comfortable with them. Add the services, add as many as you like. Okay, and some of you, no worries at all, thank you. And some of you, and one I got over here an answer that said that Samuel said that he created a gig on remote IT support. Now some of you might not be familiar with the work, what is remote IT service support. It might seem something that might require a lot of software skill or something like that. I just want to explain what it actually is. All of you can do that if you are somewhat related to the IT field, if you know some kind of programming languages, or even if you have some kind of managerial skills, you can definitely get yourself into an IT support. What an IT support is basically that someone will hire you. It is very close to something like a VA, a virtual assistant. An IT support is basically the same thing. You work with someone. For example, if someone is working on website development and you know a thing or two about website development, you can basically work with that person. You can help him make small little edits. Maybe you can keep a track of his website. Maybe you can keep some kind of schedule for his website. You can edit his website or add something to his website, or even as simple as just adding content to his website. So this is, if you have some kind of knowledge about programming, some kind of knowledge about IT, some kind of knowledge about website development, you can definitely start your own remote IT services. You can offer that on Fiverr. So this is something I think most of you over here are, when we're talking about this in the group, most of you did have some knowledge about programming, and some of you had very good knowledge about programming. So all of you who haven't created a profile yet, at least offer 1 gig of remote IT service in your particular field. If you're a web developer, then remote IT service in web development, remote IT service in game development, app development. Just start by doing it.
And
Okay, good.
sometimes too, IT support can just mean answering questions that people ask through the website. They can hire you as IT support. Like assuming is a company that have a lot of people coming to their website. Some of them need somebody to answer the questions. That might just be IT support. How do I get this done on this website? How do I get that done on that website? So like Sultan said, if you have experience in web development, you can do that. You can do that. You might be able to help people when they're looking for help on websites. And there might also be classes to brush up. There might also be trainings that you can look at and brush up. So that's another good thing too that you can do with freelancing. That if you have a skill that you need to brush up on, just take a class and brush up, get a little bit more confident that you know what you're doing. And yesterday I also said something on the WhatsApp training that if you're looking for an experience, you can offer your services for free for people that can help you get the experience, or not only for free, you can do it for cheap. If it is something that you charge $10, you can charge somebody $2 to do it, but you know that it's not about the money, it's more about the experience, which will eventually be more beneficial for you than the $10. So sometimes it just, if you look at it that way, you will get more from that free job, one free job or two free jobs that you did. So
We have another question by Amina over here, and she said that while exploring, I noticed most gigs have sample work attached. Is it mandatory to have that, to basically have that attached? Okay, so Amina, the answer to that is no. The reason that you see sometimes a lot of people have attached their work, it's not really that they have done that. Sometimes Fiverr automatically posts your work on your profile in this images section. It does it itself. So whatever you delivered, sometimes it just gets displayed on your profile sometimes. So most of the time when you're seeing people's work, it's just that they did it for someone and Fiverr just helped them to promote their profile. It just places them on their profile images. You don't have to. I'm a freelancer. I do a lot of my work, but I've never posted any of my work on my profile or on the images section. You can just basically, if you have a good rating, or if you're just getting started and obviously you don't have any work, but if you have something to show, for example, if you did something as a personal project, if you just created something for yourself, you want to show it on the screen, you can. But you can also go ahead and start without showing anything, without showing any work. Just upload images that are related to your work, that explain your image. Whatever you upload should explain your work. It should speak out basically. So just add good images over there. Don't try to copy someone's work. Just add images that are related to your work. If you do that, if you then you can basically just start off. So you don't really have to have some samples work you want to attach. So you can just go to that without it. And in the beginning, we also had a question how to attach a payment or how to receive a payment on Fiverr. I will get to that as well. If anybody has any other questions, if you guys are having some kind of trouble, if you have any kind of questions regarding freelancing, please feel free to ask. If you have any questions regarding your service, if you want to know the scope of your service, then you can tell that as well. And if you have any skill, you can drop down and we can let you know how you can turn that into a freelancing skill. So if do we have anyone with us who is already a freelancer, and are you already freelancing? If there is anyone, please feel free to let us know in the chat. We will really like to know your reviews. Okay, so we have Aruna, and on creating my Fiverr account, I made the little mistake. I select buyer instead of the seller. How do I change it? Okay, so on your profile, basically you will have an option on the top that says change to seller, or just click on your profile, or it will basically give you an option of create a seller's account. So you basically, there are two types of accounts on Fiverr: a buyer account, which is completely different, a seller account that is completely different. So you can just look up, either you can just look up to Google on create a Fiverr seller account. It will take you to the sign up page, or just click on your profile and you will get an option of creating a seller's account. Okay. So you can do it
I
from
can
there.
explain. I can explain
Sure,
that.
sure, sure.
I was a buyer. I was a
Yeah,
buyer till I started teaching this. Then I
sure.
tried to change my buyer to seller. So I think they're just on the right hand side where you have your picture. If you click on that, it will show you switch to seller account. So once you switch it to seller account, then you start filling out. You start filling out. They show you how to put up your gig, and you start filling it out. You don't need a new account. All you need to do is just to switch the buyer account to seller account. Then you complete the application from there. You complete your profile from there as a seller, not as a buyer. Did that make sense?
I can actually show them right
No,
now by
okay, yeah.
sharing my
When
screen as
you,
well. I
yeah.
have that option. I just switched to my buyer's account, so now I'm going to just show them
Okay,
how to
so yeah,
switch to
that's
a
all you
selling
need.
account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me share my screen real quick with everyone, and just let me know when you see it.
Okay.
I hope everybody can see it. Okay, so if you can see my screen right now, look at this top right corner. You see switch to selling. You will get that option as well. Click it and you will go to the settings account.
That's
Okay,
it.
so that's all you need to do. You get that option automatically. So this is where you have.
Mhm.
I also saw that. Perfect. Perfect. That's
Okay.
very good. So if anyone has created their Fiverr's account, or they want to show us their gig that they have created, you have a share screen option. You can share your screens with us. You can show us your gigs if you want to show us. We can if you want us to review, then we can surely do that as well. So please feel free to let us know. Please feel to ask any kind of questions you have related to your Fiverr's account, your selling. If you have any questions regarding selling, and for the payment, I will just answer that question. I think Kelvin asked that. I will just go ahead and check that again. Yes, Kelvin, you asked that. So how do you add payment methods? Yeah. Okay. So for this, Kelvin, the first thing that you need is basically you need to have a local bank account, and in your country you need to have that. And once you open up a bank account, you need to go to a website called Payoneer. I will drop the name in the chat. How you type it? It's basically a Payoneer is a website that allows you to create an online bank account, basically. So I will just upload that. Okay, this is the name, Payoneer. So you just go on to Payoneer, you just create your account. It will ask you to basically add your bank details inside of it, your account number, your credit card number, all that basic stuff. And once you attach your account, your bank account with your Payoneer account, you can start receiving payments from Fiverr in the Payoneer, and Payoneer will send it to your local bank account. So you need to have a Payoneer account if you want to start freelancing, if you want to start getting payments from Fiverr. The second option is PayPal, but since PayPal isn't available in some countries, so that might be your If you have PayPal, then sure, go and sign up for PayPal directly. But if you don't have PayPal in in your country, then you should use Payoneer. So Payoneer will help you basically receive payments from Fiverr and transfer it to your bank account. So you can check out their website and you can sign up.
And we have a video on that. I think we have a video on how to sign up on Payoneer and connect it to your Fiverr account. So I think after the class, Kyra can share the link for that.
Sure, sure. And Bernice has a question. What are gigs and are they like short introductory videos of your work? No, not really. Bernice, what a gig really is that a gig means that you publish your service, the service that you're offering online on a freelancing platform. For example, let me give you an example of this. Let me just share a few gigs with you and let me show you how they look like on Fiverr's platform. If you can take a look over here, then you will see. Look at this. So all of these are basically gigs. People have posted their services, what they can actually do for you. So for example, this person over here has said, I will design a custom homepage for website. So this is what you call a gig, a service that you offer online, a service that you publish online on a freelancing platform. So this is what a gig is. You can create your own and you can publish it like all of these people have done that. And once you click on it, you will go to basically their gig where they explain their work, where they explain their pricing, all that stuff. And this is where they have their images attached and all of those things. So you will find all the detail regarding that gig over here. So this is how you do that. The gigs are basically those little services that people have posted on the freelancing platform. That is what you call. And Kelvin, did you understand about the payment method, how to receive? You were asking about the payment. I explained it. Did you get it? Do you have any further questions regarding that? We have a video, like AJ said, we have a video. We will share it with you, and you can have a lot. That will give you a lot more detail regarding how to create an account on Fiverr, on Payoneer, and how you can basically start receiving payments from there. It's pretty easy. Even if you go to their website, it won't be really hard to sign up.
Mhm. And you can also fill out that same form on Fiverr. You don't have to go through Payoneer alone to do it. But the benefit of filling out a form on Payoneer is if you're using it for other things. But you can fill out the same form, Payoneer form on Fiverr. Uh, Sultan, if you go to the uh, what do you call it? The seller's account, you see
Oh yeah.
where they ask you to put in your bank account information. On there, you see that they have a Payoneer link, so you can just fill it out there and on Fiverr, and that's it. If you want to fill it out on Payoneer's account, then if you after filling it out over there, you have to come to Fiverr and connect it to Fiverr. So either way you want, you can do it from both platforms.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Mhm.
We also have another question about how do you rank your gig and getting buyers to see your gig. That is a very good question. Now, a lot of that depends on when you are creating a gig. First step is when you create a gig. And if you have Kelvin, then when you create a gig, you will get an option of selecting keywords. Okay. So for example, if you are offering, let's say, if you're offering a service for website development, then make sure that you select your keywords that are very relevant to web development. For example, web development, website designing, WordPress, basically web development and design, all the keywords that are related to your gig. This will help when people will search you. These keywords help your gig to come on the top, display on the first page. So selecting keywords and appropriate keywords is the first step. Now, if I tell you basically how will you bring your gig to the first page, because when you create a gig, it might be on the second page, on the third page, but because there are a lot of buyers already who have, a lot of sellers who have created the same gig, and because they have a good rating, they might appear above you. So to do that, what you do is you basically focus on the ranking and you basically focus on the reviews first. So to do that, to get orders, you offer your services for low price. So you will basically just look at the services that people are offering and offer that for a very low price. And then once you get one or two orders and you get a few reviews, a good review, then obviously your gig will start going to the first page on the top bar. So it all to rank your gig, you need to make sure that you first offer your services for a good price so that people can place an order. And then once they place an order and you get a good review, your gig will start going up. So this is how you rank. So can you help us on how to price our services? Sure, I can. And as a graphic designer, what service can I offer? Very good, perfect. So to help you price, how to price it? Okay, Samuel. Now look, if you're a beginner on a freelancing field, don't try to keep your prices the same way that every other graphic designer has done. So if I can show you that, let me just share my screen with you so I can show you the graphic design services that we have on Fiverr. So you can understand what is the price range people are offering. So over here, if we go to Fiverr and we search for graphic design. Now over here, you will see a variety of pricing and variety of options that you will get. Now look, this person over here, this person says that I will design a flyer, poster, postcard, or any other graphics for starting at 2,552 rupees. That is roughly around, if I say that is somewhere around $20-25 that she is starting at. And then over here, this guy has done 700 projects till now and has 5-star rating. So obviously he will price his gig accordingly. So now you as a beginner, if you try to offer your gig starting at $50, $60, then people might not feel comfortable because you have no reviews. Number one, there is nothing that they can, if I go to this guy, I can be sure that he will deliver me a good work because of these reviews. So initially, when you don't have reviews, you might want to place your gig. You might want to price your gig at a low price point. In the beginning, don't worry about the pricing. In the beginning, you need buyers, you need customers. So to attract customers, you have to give them a good price point. You need to offer good prices. You need to offer low prices so you can attract buyers towards you. So once those buyers place an order, your profile starts to basically get good reviews, then you can increase your prices gradually. So in the beginning, make sure that the prices you keep are low. It might be now you can basically over here you can guess from it that if this guy is offering it for $50, you might want to start by your starting pricing point might be $5, $10, somewhere over there. So start slow, and then once you get the buyers, then you can increase the prices. So this is what you're going to do while pricing a gig. And we had another question of I have been trying to create a gig by so I've been trying to create a gig, but it is requesting for my phone number. I have not been able to create a gig even after inserting the phone number. What can be the problem? Okay, so over here, let me answer this question. So if you're trying to create a gig, but it is asking for your phone number, then make sure over here that you enter the country code right. For example, every country has a country code. USA has +1. If I talk about my country, it's +92. So make sure you add the country code right and then write the number so that it accepts it properly. Okay. Or if you have any other problems regarding creating a gig, then you can share some images with us or share your screen with us and we can help you further with it. So we have Rashid who said, I tried to create an account on Fiverr, but it says I need another email account. What should I do? Okay, Rashid, it might be possible that your email is already registered on Fiverr. Maybe this is why it is giving you this error. Try to create a new email account and try to create your gig or your account again. It will start working. So you just need a new email and you just create a new Gmail account. It just takes 5 minutes to do so. So for web developers, we have Ernest. For web developers, please help me. Totally unrelated question. It's okay. It is permitted. I hope it is permitted. I just mastered HTML and CSS. I am conflicted between what to learn next between Python and JavaScript. I don't know which is more easier or beginner friendly. Now, Bernice, both of them are extremely beginner friendly. JavaScript, Python are still one of the most easiest programming languages to learn. However, JavaScript is much easier to learn than Python. And if you're talking about web development, go for JavaScript. Why for JavaScript? Because JavaScript has a lot more applications right now than Python does in web development. Learning JavaScript will help you. Now you have HTML and CSS with you. When you learn JavaScript, you will be entitled as a proper front-end web developer. You can start creating front-end websites. So this is what you want to go for. Go for JavaScript, and JavaScript will further help you get yourself into game development. If you go for React.js, it will help you go towards back-end development if you go for Node.js. So go for JavaScript. That will be my basically advice to you. If you're talking about web development, JavaScript is the subject for you after HTML and CSS. And then we have Dami, who said that for someone with just the knowledge of HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript, what can be the service rendered on Fiverr? We talked about this yesterday in our session as well. If somebody knows HTML and CSS, let's not talk about JavaScript at all right now. If you have some knowledge of JavaScript, then that basically means you're still learning. So I'm not going to include that right now. Just by HTML and CSS, you can offer services for creating a landing web page. A landing web page is basically the front page of a website. A lot of people want to develop that. A lot of people want you to make that. Just offer services. So I will create a landing web page for you. That is one web page you can easily create it by HTML and CSS. A lot of people require portfolio websites. Portfolio website is basically just text, images, and a design website. It has no forms, no complexities. It's a basic web page. It's just basically a website on a particular person or a particular company or a business. They are very easy to make. Start by basically creating portfolio websites. Start by creating email templates. Start by offering services that you will help people edit their website or manage their website. If you know about CSS, HTML, at least you can add content to people to someone's website. You can edit someone's website. So start by those services. Basically start by offering IT support in website development. This is what you want to do in front end website development, because you can do that by HTML and CSS. I will create email templates for you is going to be your second service. Or basically, like I said, I will help you manage your website. This can be your third gig that you can create. So all of this can be done just through HTML and CSS. And a lot of times people just want you to convert documents to HTML. Sometimes I get an offer of just creating a PDF document into an HTML document. You can just do that and make money out of it. So just make sure that you post your gigs, the 3 gigs that I told you, and they will help you.
And
So which one is more advanced?
I'll add something to what you just said. Like everybody on this platform right now that wants to be a freelancer needs a profile, needs a profile page. So if you know HTML and CSS, you have all these people here that you can offer your services to, that you can create somebody a profile page. It's like creating a website for your resume. It's like a resume, but it's on a web on a page form. So everybody on this platform can be your customers, or you can even create it for free for somebody and use that as a sample of what you can do on your freelancing platform. So that's what I just wanted to add so far. So go ahead.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay. And okay, so we have one more question. Which one is more advisable to learn, website development or WordPress? Okay. Now it really depends, wisdom, what you're doing. If you don't have any kind of knowledge about HTML and CSS, then I wouldn't say just start by WordPress. The problem with WordPress is that when you develop a website with WordPress, you can develop it fairly easily and fairly quickly. But on the downside, you have to pay for it. If you want to unlock all the features, you got to pay for WordPress premium membership that costs you money. Now, if you want to basically make your clients, if you want to publish that website, for example, then that will cost you money. Then that account costs you basically the membership costs you money per month. So you might be giving more money than you are actually getting out of it. So WordPress should not be the first step. First, go ahead and learn how website development works. The second problem with WordPress is going to be that if someone asks you to change something specific about a website, for example, on WordPress, you have templates of websites. If you pick up a template and then the person asks you that I don't like the color, change the colors. Then what will you do? You need CSS to change those particular little things. If you don't know about programming, you won't be able to do that. So start off with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, try to learn these three languages. And then if you want to move towards WordPress, feel free to move there. I sometimes prefer ask my students to basically first learn website development, learn programming languages, and once they have learned that, use your knowledge that you have, combine it with WordPress, and now develop websites a lot faster. But your first priority should be learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, at least these three languages, so that you know how website development works and you can develop independently. You don't have to pay anything. You just start by basically zero. All you have to do is invest your time into it. So if you're starting freelancing, my advice will be that you start with learning website development instead of your WordPress.
I will also add something to that, Sultan, if
Sure.
that's okay. Okay, if you have a basic knowledge of HTML and CSS, you want to do WordPress, it's even easier for you because now you can even do more on your WordPress journey. And if you're also building websites, building website like on platforms like Wix, those are easy websites to build, even if you're not, even if you don't have HTML and CSS, even if you don't know how to code. But if you know how to code, you have a greater advantage. There are a lot of like ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is the is the platform that is really easy for anybody to build on. But once you have a basic knowledge of coding and a basic knowledge of CSS and HTML, and it goes easy, it's a lot easier for you. You are more comfortable learning all these other platforms if you have basic coding knowledge. So that's why I encourage people to have at least basic coding knowledge. All these other ones becomes easier, and you are more likely to complete your project on those platforms if you have a basic knowledge of CSS, because they're just easy for you. They're like a breeze, unlike somebody that doesn't. So my 2 cents on that.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely what AJ said, you can start off with with basically WordPress if you add some basic knowledge, but make sure you do have that basic knowledge first before you start with WordPress or Wix, so that you don't face any kind of complications. You can edit things easily, you can create websites easily, and you have a better edge among other developers. So any other questions? I think I did have another question on the top. Let me just check. Okay, please how to create a gig video or a picture as a beginner or other relevant areas besides description and the keywords. Okay, Frank, we already have that published. We will share the link with you as well of how to create an effective gig on Fiverr. We have done an entire video that shows you step by step what are keywords, what are descriptions. Basically, if you have to add a video, what do you have to add in a gig? How can you create effective gig? We will share the links with you. You can definitely take a look at that.
I
So it will
think
help you.
the
Yes.
link is already here. I think Kyra already shared the link. How to create an
Perfect.
effective gig on Fiverr. So
Perfect. So yeah, we already have that link. Please check that out. And yeah, Kaya, thank you so much. She already dropped it once again. So you can just check out this link. It explains everything. Oh, no worries at all. Okay, now let's start off by basically, first of all, discussing about once you create an effective gig on Fiverr, what should you expect after creating the gig? Now, number one thing I would like to discuss with you guys that once, let's say that after this video, when you watch it, all of you will be at that point where you will be able to create your own gigs, where you will be able to post your own services. Now, once you post a service, what should you expect out of it? When you think of it, what do you think will happen next? Now, a lot of people have this misconception that once you post the gig, once your service is uploaded, the buyers are going to come rushing towards. All right. So that might not be the case initially. You will have to be patient, and it will take a lot of courage and a lot of determination to be online at that platform every single day, even if you're not even if you're not getting a single view or a single click on your gig. Trust me, that patience and that determination pays off one day, and you'll be very, very glad that you actually waited and you were patient at that time. So all you need to do is, the more you just make a good gig, make your what you write it, make sure you have an honest description, make sure you offer the work that you are good at. So eventually everybody does get their first gig, their first project, their first order. But make sure that you're patient and just know that sometimes it takes time. So you have to be a little patient and you have to wait on it. But also make sure that when you get your first order, that can either make your profile or it can completely break your profile. So when you get your first order, make sure that you work and deliver extra. Make sure you exceed the buyer's expectation. Make sure you deliver as the best work as you possibly can to please that buyer. Because if he gives you a good review, you have a 5-star rating on your profile, now there is nothing stopping. Now there are gonna be buyers that are definitely gonna be rushing towards you, that are you will get a lot of audience, you will attract a lot of buyers. So the reviews on your profile they really do matter a lot on Fiverr. So make sure you offer the work that you are comfortable with. Now after this, the second thing is to how can you basically basically keep this process going on? How can you basically repeat your orders? How can you get repeated orders? How can you make people come back to you? Now, for that, you have to make sure that you offer a top-notch customer care. Now, offering a good customer care service is really, really, really important. Now, why? If you think about any business model, how does a business succeed? If you open a business today, if you open a shop today, if you open any kind of business today, it will start to make its name, it will start to make its standing once it gets good reviews out of people. I might go to that shop, I'll buy something, I will really like it, and I will tell you to buy that as well. You will tell 3 other people to buy from, and now that business is basically building its own, it's building a strong foundation. So it works the same way on Fiverr. However, this process is a lot more faster because everybody is whoever comes to you, whoever buys from you, all your customers are basically sharing reviews that are available publicly to everybody. So you have to make sure that your profile gives you a good impression, your profile builds a nice impression so that you get orders. Now, customer care is very important. Make sure that when you are dealing with customers, when you are basically talking to customers, the way you deal them, the way you communicate with them, your communication skills should be top notch. You should be able to communicate them in a good way. Make sure that you're not rude. Make sure that your sentences or what you're saying is doesn't get harsh in any kind of. Make sure that you understand the buyer, make sure that you understand their requirements, and basically always try to, your tone should be polite, your customer care should be good. So when you build a good relationship with the customer, when you deliver them a good work, when you develop that sense of loyalty between both of you, then obviously that customer is going to come back and he's going to give you more orders as well. So this is how you basically create a chain of orders. Now, a lot of times when these relationship builds up, you also basically develop basically offline deals and offline basically orders from people as well. So make sure that your customer care is top notch. Now we have a question over here that says that must my username on Fiverr be my real name? Uh, I would say that if you want to make an online company on it, then name it after a company. But yes, if you're using a name, then make sure you use your own name. Otherwise, just use a business name. So this is what you're going to do over here. So over here to create, if some of you are new, I will just walk you through Fiverr as well, how Fiverr basically works and how can you sign up on Fiverr or create an account on Fiverr. Okay, so I hope we can share the gig. Sorry, I have a question over here. I'll just take that question real quick. So I hope we can share the gig we create for review. Yeah, you can definitely share that as well. You can actually copy the link for that gig and you can share it with anyone you want to. Say gigs are also shareable as well. So you can see over here that I just logged into Fiverr. I'm using a guest account right now over here so that I'm not really signed in. Now over here, this is what you will see when you first visit Fiverr. So very easily you can see that on the top right corner of the screen you see an option of join. Obviously you're not going to sign in because you might not have an account right now, so you can just click on join over here. And as soon as you do that, it basically gives you an option of how do you want to join. You can basically continue with Facebook, continue with Google, Apple, anything you basically like. So you have plenty of options over here and you can select any one of them. And once you basically all this requires, this step requires is that you only need to have an email. Once you enter your email, you're pretty much set to go. So once you have that email, you press on continue, and after that, basically the Fiverr will automatically take you to the sign up process. So this is how you do that. Now, if you want to sign in, then obviously you're just going to go over here. And if you already have an account, it asks for an email and password. And once you click on it, you will basically start up. Now, for the gigs, I already explained that how can you basically create a gig over here. You can see that there you can search on the top bar over here. And on the top bar, when you search for a gig, you can basically find the service that is most related to you. Now, if I show you a seller's point of view over here, how a seller basically sees their profile, then this is basically my profile that if I can share it with you. So I have my profile over here, and these are basically the gigs that you have that you can offer over here. These are the gigs basically. So you can make up to 5 gigs initially. And in these 5 gigs that you basically make, you can just offer multiple services. I just offer services regarding web development. So my gigs are only particularly that, but somebody asked that can we also basically offer more than one service, then you definitely can. So as you see, once I go to gigs over here, I can go to create a new gig. As soon as I click on it, I will be basically taken to the page that will ask me to create a gig. I will just walk you through it real quick about how it works. Like I said, we have already shared a complete video on how to do that. So I won't be really going into a lot of detail, but I will basically walk you through what keywords are, what description is, and how to name a gig and all that stuff. So this is basically your entire Fiverr dashboard that you have. This is what when you sign in, you create a seller's account. This is the screen that you will see that is in front. So over here you can see that all if any of you are creating a gig and having any issues, look on the right side over here. I have basically a video that is appearing. Okay, you can always watch this video before filling up anything. When you click on this video, it will explain each and every step to you individually. So Fiverr already explains everything to you very well. You don't really have to watch any kind of videos. Just go and just click on this video and it will show you everything. So over here, you can also see that it first asks me to write the title of my gig. I will do something I'm really good at. So over here, what you will write is basically that, for example, I will develop a website for you. Or for example, I will create some logos for you. Or I will basically help you as a, I will offer remote IT services. Or I will offer virtual assistant services. So it depends on what you will do over here. This is what you right over here, and you won't write I will, you will basically continue after that. For example, I will create an amazing website for you. Okay, so this is just an example. Obviously you will select something that is more relevant to you. Now after that, you can see if you go down, it says select a category. If you're talking about website development, then your category is going to be either programming and tech. Let's see if there is anything else. No, so I'm just going to go for programming and tech. If you're offering graphic designing services, you know what to choose. So basically you choose your specified category. Again, selecting a category that matches your service is extremely important to make your gig go to the first page. Now, after that, it will ask you to select a subcategory. The same thing, if you're a WordPress developer, then you will select this. If you're a website developer, for example, like me, if you just develop websites from scratch by just build websites on your own, you will either go for website builders and CMS, or what I will prefer, you just go for web programming. This should be the most relevant field. Now, after you do that, After you've done that, you will get a few more options over here. Select a service type, what kind of type of service that you offer, web application or custom websites. I will just select custom websites over here. Then it asks you that select the language that you provide services for. We provide services as a web developer for multiple, but you over here multiple languages. But over here you can see there's an option just for HTML and CSS. A lot of people who are asking me about HTML and CSS, just select this option over here, and you can just basically continue. And at the end it basically says keywords. Now keywords are basically in this section. Basically this helps you, these words will help you find the gig. If you look on the right side right now, you will see an option that says there is a pop-up that appears. I hope everybody can see that it pops up every time I hover my mouse. So it basically says that enter search terms which you feel buyers will use when looking for your service. So that means that what words or what should buyers search in order for your gig to appear. So let's say the buyer should search build website, or the buyer should search website development. So let's say website development. Again, he should search website designing, something like that, website design. So you will basically select up to 5 keywords over here. So make sure you add all 5. Don't just leave it on 1, 2, or 3. Make sure you use all of them. So once you do that, you just basically click on save and continue, and you will move to the next page. The process is extremely simple of how to create a gig. Now, as we move on, as we move to the next page, let's see what the next page actually is. The next page is pretty much the pricing and all those things. Now, in the pricing, you have to be a little bit careful because there are a few steps you have to follow. You have to make sure. So once the page loads, I will explain. Now, over here, you can see how many steps are there. We did the overview. Now we are doing the prices. Then there is description, requirements, gallery, and publish. Again, you got the video. Look, again you have the video appearing over here. So you can, all you have to do is basically just click on these videos, watch it first, and then start filling what you're the entire gig and the entire thing. So if we go down, what does this say? Now this is something that you have to be very, very, very careful about when you are making a gig. This is a very crucial part of your gig. Now this basically means that there are 3 packages for the service that you're offering. Now what does this mean? If I'm making a website, then I will offer a basic service, a standard service, and a premium service. That means that the first one is going to cost the lowest and it will have less features compared to the other two. The middle one will have basically sufficient amount of features and it will be at a mid-range price point. And the premium one will have all the features that a website requires and it will also be at a higher price point. Initially your higher price point is not going to be a competitive higher price point with competing with all other people who are offering your services. At the initial stages you will keep your prices low. I will just suggest that at the basic, don't start by more than $10. Try to keep the basic package $5 to $10 initially. Standard package, depending upon the services you're offering, maybe somewhere around $20 $30. And the premium one in the beginning, maybe around somewhere $70 to $80. Try to keep yourself under $100 for the first at least 2 to 3 orders. It's fine. I know you might not get the price that you really deserve for that work, but right now you're focusing on building your profile. You're not focusing on making money. The money and all that will come once you have more orders. Once you basically build a credibility, you have good reviews, the order will just start coming towards you, and then you can make all your money you want to. In the beginning, just don't focus on it. In the beginning, you have to basically focus on getting as many buyers as you possibly can, and all you can how you can do it, you can basically start by a lower price point. Over here, write the name of your packages. For example, we can say silver, and the standard word can be silver. Over here, then actually let's name it bronze. It can be anything, really depends on what you're doing. So after that, let's enter silver over here for the standard one, and the premium one will be the gold package. It's just a name. You can give any name that you want to. Now, after that, you basically write the descriptions of the packages. Now, in the description, you basically write that what are you going to offer? What is going to be the description? What will be in the basic package? What will you include? For example, I can write over here that I will basically create the landing page of a website for you over here, or I will create a 2-page website for you over here, a basic website by using HTML and CSS over here. Why? Because I'm just offering it for $10, $5, whatever I'm doing. So I will offer that accordingly. So for example, now you have to explain this very well. You have to write exactly what you're offering over here, and you have to be careful that in all these three boxes collectively you can only enter 100 words, not per box, but in all three boxes collectively you can only have 100 words. So make sure that you just describe briefly and exactly what you're offering. Okay, so over here I'm just going to write 2-page website using HTML and CSS. Okay, that's it. Now, over here you have basically the standard package. What will you enter in the standard package? What will you do in the standard package? It will be a mid-range. Okay, so let's say a 5-page website that will basically include HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. Again, explain it in your own way. All I'm trying to do is give you an example of what you have to do. I'm just walking you through. Watch the video. In that video we have explained it in a lot more detail, how and what you should add over here. And then you have the premium package, the gold package. What will you do over here? Let's say, for example, 10-page website, complete front end and back end. Okay, so that means that you're offering all the services. It has all the bells and whistles that you can look in a website. So this is how we offer over three packages. The point was to make you understand that the basic will have the lowest amount of services that you will be offering. It will be basically it will just get the job done. It will just give you a website. Okay, and the second one is going to be a mid-range website, fairly good looking, and you focus on the design and everything, but it is on the mid-range price point. And the premium one, all the bells. Now you select a delivery time. In how many days will you deliver it? Let's say I select 2 days for the basic one. We will deliver it in just 2 days. For the for the standard one, let's take up to four days. Yeah, let's take 4 days. And over here for the premium one, it will have a lot of work and everything. So I will take up to 10 days. So it really depends. Just select the delivery time in which you can comfortably deliver the work. Make sure you give yourself one extra day every single time. So when you deliver the work earlier, that leaves a very good impression. And if you can't deliver the work, then you always have a margin of 1 day. So give yourself, and if you can do a job in 3 days, make sure you write 4 days. So now the number of pages, we already mentioned it. I will write 2 over here. We will write, we will just select 5 from this one and 10 from this one. So you will get different, and you will get different options over here depending on the services that you chose to offer. Now over here, if you want to include anything extra over here, you can select it as well. So in this one, you will say, I will upload the design and include the source code. Over here you will upload the design. It will be basically, you will upload the content as well, and it will be a responsive web design. It will not be a responsive web design. And over here you will basically offer all the services. Now you have revision over here, that how many times will you revise your work. For example, if the buyer does not like your work and if he wants you to basically redo it, then how many times will you redo it? So this is a basic one. I will select that I'll do it one time. This is basically the mid-range package, so we can do it 3 times. And in the premium, like I said, this is basically the top-notch service, so I'm just going to say unlimited. So we're just going to deliver the work that we will just deliver a work that is high quality, and he won't really ask you to do that. Now the price point, like I said, start low. I'm just going to offer this one for $10. I'm going to offer this one for $50, and I'm going to offer this one for $90. Like I said, try to stay below 100 for the first couple of orders. Once you have the credibility, once you build trust, start taking more, basically start increasing your prices gradually. Don't try to increase your prices drastically, otherwise you're not going to get any orders. So after that, if you want to add something extra, you can do that. I'm not going to use anything extra over here, but if you want to add something extra, for example, it says extra fast delivery, you can check that, and now you can basically select the price for the extras as well. So if you want to offer any extras, fine, but these are optional. If you don't want to add them, you don't have to add. So now let's try to save and continue, and let's see if it lets us save it. And while it is saving, I will also take some questions. If you are a Okay, so we have a question that if you are a copywriter and content creator, which category will you use, writing and translation or digital marketing? No, if you are a content creator, then you won't be selecting digital marketing. Digital marketing is a completely different field. You're not trying to promote someone by writing your content. You're just offering basically content, maybe writing it for blogs, for articles, or something like this. If this is what you're doing, if you're writing blogs, if you're writing articles, then go for basically writing and translation. But if you're promoting people by writing your content, if you're promoting a company by writing their content, promoting a business by writing the content, then you can say digital, or you can select a digital marketing. So it all depends on what kind of work. So now after that, you will basically select the description of your package. Now you will describe your gig. What will you do for the people that come and order your gig? What will you do? You will basically write everything. You will describe your entire gig. How will it help people? Why should people choose your gig? Just write each and everything. Now over here, make sure that you use a good vocabulary. Everything is clear. You offer every single thing as you have described it. So write every single thing over here that you can write, or make all the promises over here that you can actually fulfill. Now, once you write your description, it will ask you to add a FAQ, or frequently asked questions. Again, this is also something that you can skip on, but if you want to add it, then sure. FAQs are basically just questions that you can add. For example, if a question that you might be getting very often. So over here, if you're a web developer, then you can add a question: will the website be responsive? Because this is something that you often get asked. Now, responsive is, some of you don't know what I mean by responsive. A responsive website means that it will work with a computer, it will work with a tablet, and it will work with a mobile phone. So that is what a responsive web design is. So we can write over here: responsive web design is available in the gold package, or our premium package that we have. So this is basically how you explain it. Now, like I said, you will basically describe your gig. Over here you have 200 characters. You cannot exceed it. Make sure you describe it well. Make sure that you do add some information over here. For the time being, to save time right now, I'm just going to enter one line so that we can move to the next step. But over here you have to describe your gig, exactly what it is. Now again, go back to the link that we showed you. Make sure you visit that link. In that link we have explained in a lot of detail what how do you write something over here, how do you explain something over here. Now, over here, a lot of people, what they do is they start giving their personal introductions. Now, don't do that. Over here, it says briefly describe your gig. It's not asking you to describe your profile. So make sure you just display or write the content that is regarding your own basically gig, or that describes your gig perfectly. So over here, I'm just going to write, I will create an amazing, modern looking website for you. Like I said, just added one line so that we can move on. So now let's save and continue. Over here, you will describe your gig in a way that, so over here it says that it should be at least 120 characters. Okay. I'm just going to copy this line a few more times so that we can move towards the next step and save and continue. All right, it won't let us go any further. Let us see if I can use another paragraph. Let me just use a paragraph over here so that we can write it and move ahead. If any of you have any questions till now, please feel free to ask. You can drop them in the chat and I can definitely look into them. So let's find ourselves a paragraph and let's add it. I'm just looking for a paragraph, and once I add it, we can move on. Okay, perfect. So now we're off to the next step. So now your main steps are all done. Whatever you had to do is completed. Now there are just you already all you have to do is upload an image. You have to upload your requirements. Now requirement is something that when someone places an order on your website, when once they order something, they will get to answer some questions that you will ask them. Okay, so you will ask the buyer's requirement. For example, you will ask him to give me basically you will ask him for instructions. You might ask him for a rough sketch. You might ask him for the color scheme. You might ask him what the website will be about. You might ask him basically anything that is going to help you do the project or to complete the order in a better way. That will help you yourself. So over here, you have to add at least one over here. So I'm going to add a question over here. What will be the website about? So that I know what the website is about. Is a portfolio website? Is it going to be for a company? Whatever it is, just answer that. And you have an option. You can change free text. You can use a multiple choice question, or you can just ask the user to basically upload some kind of files. So I'm just going to keep it free text for now, that he can just type and give me the answer. So you click on add. The question is added. Save and continue. You should go to the next page. Now, this is your last step over here, and after it, you are ready to just publish your gig. So at this point, and if you noticed on every single page, there was a video that would explain everything about that page. So make sure you go there and check that out every single time. And lastly, you have build your own gig gallery. Over here, you have an option to add a video. However, adding a video is optional. If you want to add it, sure. If you don't have a video and you don't want to add it, then that is completely fine as well. But make sure that you have some pictures over here. You have to basically add 3 pictures. Make sure you add all three pictures should be basically should describe the work that you're offering. The pictures should speak themselves. If you have some of your own work that you want to show, add them over there, feel free. Now after that, they have an option of if you want to add an audio. Like I said, this is also optional. If you don't want to add it, you don't have to. After that, you can add some kind of PDF. Maybe some people like to add their own CVs, their own portfolios. If you have something like that that you want to show people, please feel free. Once you hit the save and continue, after doing this, you will have an option of publishing your gig. You will hit on publish and it will be live. So this is basically how you can create a gig. This is how the gig on Fiverr basically works. Again, this was just an overview of walk around to just show you all the steps, what you had to do. I just explained them in the lecture that we sent you. It is also, I have basically explained it a lot more detail, what you have to write inside of it. How do you have to write inside of it? So make sure you check that out. And now please ask all of your questions. Thank you.
Sultan, can you touch on a little bit on the do's and don'ts on Fiverr? Because that is another thing that can make that can put people out of business and put people out, just make it difficult for people to survive on that platform. So maybe if you can just touch upon that
Perfect.
a little bit.
Definitely, definitely. Now, a lot of people, when they start up their own uh, Fiverr account and when they're new on that, the thing is that a lot of people are not familiar with the terms and conditions of Fiverr, and they're not familiar about the rules on Fiverr. Now, first of all, go through that, and I cannot emphasize it on that anymore, because a lot of time when you get your account started, you're a top-rated seller, and one day you wake up knowing that you have been suspended from Fiverr, and this happens very often because Fiverr takes their terms and condition rules very, very seriously. Now, I will start with the don'ts. First of all, I cannot emphasize this on it any more, that you do not ask or share any personal information, any contact number, any email, any kind of personal contact information with your buyers. Never do that. The only way you can communicate with your buyer is through Fiverr, and that is exactly how you're going to do that. So only use Fiverr to communicate with the buyers that you have. Number two. Now, if you will share it, then what will happen is basically Fiverr will, they have a very, very, very strict algorithm going on. They have a very strict, basically, they have bots that are monitoring your profile and your accounts all the time. So once they detect that you have done something like this, Fiverr will know that instant. So you cannot get away from that. So make sure that you don't do that. Now, number two, make sure that when a lot of people, when you're offering a service, when you are creating a gig or you're doing something like that, then make sure that you offer something that you can actually do. Sometimes a lot of people think that they can offer something even if they don't know it, and then later on they can find someone who can do that and they can basically take a cut out of it. Don't get into those things. Just offer the services that you can, or that you can, that you're able to do yourself, and that you can deliver a good quality out. So make sure you don't contact anyone personally or don't do anything like that. And the emails that you use on while creating your account, whatever usernames you use, make sure you think about it, use the correct username, because then after that changing that name or something, or changing that email can become a hassle, because a lot of your on Fiverr, when you create an account, a lot of your payment accounts, a lot of your Fiverr detail accounts, everything is linked to one email. So changing one means you have to change it all the way around on all the accounts. So make sure you use one email and make sure you remember the email, password, everything like that. So, and once you create the gig and once you get the orders, make sure, like I said before, you give good customer care service and make sure that you deliver and you basically provide what you claim. So that is something you have to be a little bit careful.
Okay, I have something to add to myself. And when you put up your gigs and you get orders, if for any reason you cannot fulfill that order, communicating with your buyer is key. You don't want them to report you to Fiverr, because they will, if they report you to Fiverr, that's also a ding on you, on your profile. If that happens a lot, they will get you out of Fiverr. And you cannot have more than one profile on Fiverr. If you're trying to fill out your Fiverr profile or account, you have a problem. Don't say, okay, let me try another one. If you try another one, they'll ban you from they'll ban you from Fiverr, because that means, okay, like Sultan said, most of you here are web designers or have idea. So if you're using an IP, you cannot have two accounts on one IP. So it doesn't matter what email you're using. If you open two Fiverr accounts on one IP, they will ban both. They will ban both accounts, and you will not come back to you will not come back to their platform again. And there are other platforms that do the same thing. So if you are getting on this journey of freelancing, think it through what you want to do before you start, and be honest, because on these platforms, what sells here is trust and honesty. Not only that, that's what sells, that's also what makes your business go further, is that you're being honest and people are trusting you. And once people start trusting you, you start getting good feedback, more people will trust you because more people trust you. So, and Sultan said it correctly. Fiverr has bots all over the place. If you type, I will pay you, immediately they will know that you type that. They don't want you to discuss money outside of what Fiverr wants you to. And once you continue having this done on your profile, they will start questioning your profile, and that will be you putting yourself on the side of they will soon ban you from the platform. And if they ban you, you're not coming back unless you have a new computer. If you have the same IP, you cannot come back on Fiverr. So I just hope that everybody just abide with some of these rules, especially if you if you get an order. If you cannot fulfill it, it's okay. Just communicate with the person that bought from you. This is my problem. I can't fulfill this order. Can you give me a little bit more time? Don't make it seem that you're okay, you took their money and you're not fulfilling their order. So these are some of the things that will get you kicked off on that platform. And after doing all the work, you don't want to get kicked off. It will discourage you from doing what you need to do. So just be safe on Fiverr. Okay, so it's
Perfect. So we
7.
have a question over here.
Mhm.
Yeah, we actually have a question. It says that is there a chat channel that links the buyer to the chat directly once they hire you? Once the project is done, how can someone deliver the project to him or her? Like me now, I specialize in graphic design. Very good question. Actually, it is pretty easy. All you need to do is once someone places an order, Fiverr just gives you a notification. You click on the notification. This take you straight start to the chat screen. Now you can basically chat with the buyer on Fiverr. So Fiverr provides a whole chatting platform, even video calling platform on their own website. So you don't have to go anywhere else. Everything is done on Fiverr. How can you deliver it? Once someone places an order, you basically, once you click on their order, you will get an option of deliver your work. So all you have to do is once you're done with it, click on that button that says deliver your work. And then it will give you a screen where you can upload your basically your logo, upload the file that you just created for that guy. You just click on deliver and it will just go to him. And then the buyer has an option. Once the buyer receives your work, he will click on the confirm button. Once he does the confirm, or once he accepts your order, then the whole deal will be completed. You basically will get paid. Or otherwise, even if he doesn't accept it, after 3 days the order automatically gets accepted, and then both of you can leave a review to each other. So buyers review sellers and sellers review buyers, so it works both ways. So
And
that's how
also,
it.
they can also said, they can look at the project and said, this project is not satisfactory. I want a revision. So when they say they want revision, the order comes back to you, where you have to now revise the work. Maybe then you can communicate and say, okay, what do you want me to do? What didn't I do right? What will make you happy? Then that person will say, okay, you didn't do this, or can you add this or that? Then you revise the work. Then, okay, you can also give time that I can revise that work in 2 days. I can do the revision and submit it back in 2 days. Then you do the revision and you submit it back to the person. Sometimes this also brings conflict. When Sultan was explaining how to create your gig, he said you add how many times you're willing to do revision. So if you're not clear about how many times you want to do revision, you might have conflict at this point. When somebody turns back your work, you revise it the first time and they turn it back again. If you said, okay, I will do 2 revisions, so you are clear from the beginning that you're going to do either 1 or 2 revisions. So if you have done 1 revision, you can say, okay, I'll do this out of the sympathy of my heart, or you have to pay me extra for me to do the second or third revision because I told you that I would do only 2. So that is another reason why it's good to be clear from the get-go how many revisions you can do. Because yeah, people can say, oh, this wasn't what I was expecting. You should have done it this way. You should have done it that way. So yeah. Okay. So any other question? We are coming down to the wire here. It's 9:21, so we'll have a few minutes to go. So this is a good time for you guys to ask more questions. And I think Kyra also put a link in there for a feedback. So if you guys can also give us, I thank you guys again for yesterday. You guys send us a lot of feedbacks, and we thank you for that. So if you can do that again for this training, I will honestly appreciate it. That will help us get these trainings better and do better to serve you guys and to serve more people. And another thing I will also ask you all is to maybe go to our social media platforms, help us out to reach more people. Tell us about how we're doing. Like the feedback, you can go to our to Instagram and please like us on Instagram, comment on our pages, and let people know how we're doing. That this is a place that they can get some more information. We truly and honestly want to help people get on these platforms, get a job, create their own lifestyles that they wish, and create a better life for themselves and for their communities. So thank you all, and I hope that you guys just fill out the survey. So if you have any questions, we'll have a few more minutes to go. This will be a good time to ask your questions if you do.
Okay, I have a question and I feel really sad to reply to it. Is it possible for me to go back and change my username? Now I know the answer, but I again double checked it, and I am very positive on this that you will have to create a new account. You will have to close your account and then you will have to create a new account. So guys, make sure once you create your username, you are sure about what you want to name it. Like I said, name it after your own name or name it after a business name. Don't name it after somebody else's name. So you want to keep it to yourself. Make sure that you think on it. So you can always close your account. You can write an email to Fiverr. You can ask them to help you out on this issue. Fiverr has good customer support. Write them an email. Tell them that you have this issue. Help me change my username. They will guide you. If there is any other procedure, they will definitely let you know what to do. But it's not like on Facebook or some other social media app that you can just go ahead and just change it. Fiverr doesn't let you do that.
That is so true. That happened to me. So if you want to if you want to just choose what you want, that's part of the reason why I sent out the clarity form so that you be clear what you want to do. I signed up for Fiverr the time Fiverr came out. I was trying to help my son to get on a freelancing platform. So I wanted to see what it is like by myself. So I signed up. So I was just playing around and I can't change it. So they won't let
Yeah.
you. They won't let you change it. Like you said, the only
Yeah.
way you can change it is to delete that account and start all over. Don't create two accounts at the same time. If you want to create another one, delete one and start another one. You can't have two. If you have two at the same time, they will ban both of them and ban your IP. Please don't do that. So, any other questions? I
I
guess
hope
that's
this
it.
session helped you out. Yeah, I think we have all the questions we needed. Okay. Thank you so much for the knowledge you gave us. No problem. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Okay, so Sultan, you want to close it? I think she might have something to say. Kyra, do you have anything to say? Do you have any directions on what you posted?
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
So again, just like yesterday, I just sent a form. This will be the training evaluation survey, and we'd like to know your thoughts about this training and help us improve. You just have to choose the answers in the form, and your comments and feedbacks will be highly appreciated. This will be automatically sent back to us via email. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Kyra. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate your services, Kyra. Okay, Sultan, you want to close your training? Let's talk about tomorrow.
Yep, I think
Mhm.
Yep, I think we are done for today. This was just to basically let you guys know how to create a Fiverr's account profile. That was even yesterday, but today we also talked about it, how to create a gig, how to make everything work, explained everything. Today we basically learned all about how Fiverr works. Now, for your task today, all of you now should be able to create a gig, and all of you are basically assigned today that you have to create a profile on Fiverr and then make sure that you guys offer your own services, you guys create your own gigs and publish them on Fiverr. So thank you so much for your time, and that is all from me. Thank
Thank you so much, Sultan. That was a great class. Okay, tomorrow we'll still do this class again tomorrow, and that will be on Upwork. We are going to do freelancing on Upwork, which means you can choose to do your freelancing on Fiverr or Upwork, or some people do both, but doing both from the beginning is hard. like like Sultan said, if you start a gig on Fiverr or any freelancing platform, you want to be present in that on that freelancing platform. You want to be present there so that people, you have to be there. It's almost like a job. Honestly, let nobody lie to you that this is a lot is easy. The only thing is just that you have a choice of when to do it, how to do it, who to work with, who not to work with. But it's still, you still have to run a business. You still have to know the business side of your stuff and be present to do your work. So if you want to do, try Upwork and Fiverr at the same time, that's something you can. But tomorrow we're teaching on Upwork, or you can choose one of the platforms to work on, anyone that is easier for you. So we're giving you guys the options to do that, to choose. So tomorrow we'll be training on Upwork, and we'll have a new teacher on our platform. His name is Ike. Ike will be teaching on Upwork tomorrow. He's going to talk about freelancing, his process of starting an account on Upwork, and how Upwork works. So, and he's also a copywriter. He's a writer. He's been writing for a while. He's amazing. He's a top-rated Upwork writer. So I hope that you guys will come back tomorrow to listen to him, for him to give you some more insight of how Upwork works. And on Afro Coding School, like, we would teach and train people on programming skills. So if you want to learn more about programming, or if you know anybody that wants to learn programming, please, we'll be here to help.